You got a memory card now? Are you ready to go? Gosh, I swear, sometimes things just don't go my way. That's all there is to it. Hi YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like, subscribe, ring the bell. Yeah, well, if you know the deal. A handful of you have wanted me to do a walk around the new boat. Well, hell, I love talking about boats, boys. Let's go. Come on. So I designed the boat to float as shallow as possible. It was going to be a fan boat. Okay, when I started to build, I was still finishing Lizzie, which is over there beside Boar, the 7.3, that will never get finished because apparently I'm never going to start on it. So I wanted the boat to float as shallow as possible, and I wanted it to be a fan boat. I was going to make a big globe and be bad as hell. Well, that project happened. There's 2 more projects over there that happened, and so here I sit. I'm the typical guy who has all these projects, no time and no money to do them with. Okay? Seriously. So, no fan. All right? Not on this boat anyway. Maybe that other project, but whatever. But the boat started as a fan boat, and we wanted to float as shallow as possible. I wanted to be big. I wanted to be safe. I wanted to have a lot of horsepower to be able to haul a heavy load, of course, but when it come time to get to those fishing waters, I wanted to make sure that I sit as high in the water as possible. Now, I don't have any footage of this boat on the water, but let's look real quick, and you guys can see that water line, okay, from front to back. All right. We are probably about 6 inches. Now that's, you've heard that before. Well, I can run out of water in my trailer before okay, sure. This one does, for sure, okay? I've had 4 people on the front deck, barrel full of fish, and all the weight is in the back of this boat, all of it. That's how I do it, okay? And with that much weight in there, I was still sitting 8 inches deep. It's amazing, okay? I didn't really think that was possible, but here's how I did it, okay? With the idea of the fan in mind, knowing that fan is going to be heavy, I went forward with this build to put as much displacement in the water as possible. You see, let's look at this rake over my shoulder here. See how short that rake is on that boat? Well, on a typical, any boat, okay, 18, 20, 22 foot long, the rake from the start up here, okay, down to here is actually way the hell back here. So that's this much boat from here to here. So I get my camera right. About that much boat that you don't have in the water that is lacking displacement, and you're going to put 5 guys right there. So that pushes down here, and then typically, especially on a modified V, it takes this portion of the boat and puts it really deep in the water. My thought process behind this is put as much hull as possible in the water, as long as possible. So I've got full length pods that go all the way back that are full height, just because. And my rake goes way, way, way to the front, and it's really short. Now, I know what you're thinking. That boat will beat the living crap out of you in rough water. Yeah, you're right. It will. It does. Choppy water, it's fine. It does all right. Got a little spray, but it does okay. Keep in mind I got a 150 on the back, so I can get that nose up a little bit. And most flat bottoms ride, about from here back about that much boat in the water, and this is up out of the water anyway. So yeah, works fine. In rollers, it's not fine, okay? I have to go slow. I have to put the nose in the air, or I break that third roller every time, and everybody in the boat will get wet. But you know what? I don't fish in rollers. The boat was meant to fish, okay? And it does very well. It's very stable. It floats very shallow. That 150 can haul a lot of people and a lot of fish, and I'm really happy about it because fuel consumption isn't too bad, okay? I've yet to run a night where I haven't, run more than 2/3 of that tank out, but I carry a spare or 2 spare 5-gallon tanks with me at all times. That way I've always got gas for the generator. I keep my cans in there so I can mix it. Anyway, that's the design of the boat. The boat's not completely flat, so let's look at that here real quick. Like I said, the boat was going to be a fan boat, but we didn't get there. So let's just let's see, where's the best place to look? How about right? Maybe right here. You can see the bottom of the boat dips down just a little bit. Okay. So let's start inside the boat. Now, I am the one who started doing this, okay? It all started out with a pontoon step on Lost Seduction. You all know who that is. But this is freaking awesome, okay? I'm a big fat boy, and that makes everything easy. Let's just start with the layout of the boat, okay? The boat from gunnel all the way across the gunnel is 102 inches, okay? From the transom, right there where the motor is mounted, to the nose is 18 feet, okay? The front deck is 84 inches long. My walk-arounds, tell you what, let's do this walk-around. 16 inches wide, tapers back to about 8 inches wide, and that allows you to reach down here, get down in here low, reach over and grab them big fish if you want to, but it's still very easy to walk around. My front steps, that's a big step, boys and girls. That's like, I forget, 28 inches. They are 29-inch sides, so that's a big step. So one step actually works out pretty good. I added me a little tube over here, okay? We got us a gaff, we got us everything we need in there. Padded it so it's, not making a hell of a lot of noise. That is a wild ass console. Yes, it is. It's freaking crazy. Well, in full home fabricator fashion, I bent that over my knee a handful of different ways, and that's what it ended up being. Kind of wild looking in it. But the whole purpose was to keep it off of the rail so you can still walk around there. I didn't want a center console taking up a bunch of space. Y'all know I'm against consoles anyway, but this one is probably my favorite because with the stand up, sit down, let's spin around here a little bit. Okay, so I can stand here and drive, no problem, or sitting down, the console's right here where it needs to be. Hey, not bad. Works out good for me. We got our fuel, our voltmeter, voltmeter, our trim gauge, which just had a malfunction, by the way. That sucks. But and then our tack. I backlit it with the green LEDs. You can go back and check my little video about green LEDs. Super little cool $3 upgrade to make the back of your instrument panel whatever color you want. Love it. Chinese boat switches. Love them. Absolutely love them. If you know how to wire a boat, if you know how to fuse and make sure all your connections are tight, these are great. Okay, $3 a piece on eBay. I got the little carbon fiber bracket here on eBay. I don't know, just search boat panel parts and see what comes up, see what you can use. I didn't give a whole lot of money for that. It's cheap. I was not going to spend $100 on a damn switch panel. I put that one together for like 20 bucks. Okay, so across the board, dash panel, okay, and that means my backlit on my gauges. Navigation lights. Navigation lights means we'll look at that here in a minute. But the front of the boat has got little 6-inch LED bars on either side, and then on the outside, because you have to be visible 180 degrees for each color on each side, port and starboard, we did a little 3/4 inch Maxima on the side. So just to make sure that I'm visible on both sides. All right. My driving lights. My driving lights sitting right up there. Those are 5.5 inch cubes. Each one is 90 watts apiece. They're powerful. They put off a lot of light. They're not exactly pencil beams like I wanted, but once again, through certain channels direct from China, we save some money. So interior lights. Now we did something a little bit different on interior lights, but let's just go ahead and go through our switches here. Our amplifier, our bilge with an enormous giant bilge, because why the hell not, right? That thing is like 3,200 gallon an hour, stupid. And then my rear floodlights, okay? So stainless steel, yeah, I think 14 inch. The little box down here in the bottom, only the bare essentials, okay? BAA scale, an extra reel, there's a few fuses, a little plano box full of muzzy points, because we only shoot the best on this boat, and our fuse panel, okay? My fuse panel's easy to see and easy to get to, because up in there is a interior light. On my interior lights, let's just go ahead and look at them while we're talking about it, okay? My interior lights is right there, and y'all might recognize that as a truck bed light, okay? Go to Walmart, buy you a truck bed lighting kit, okay? You got like 6 or 8 of those. I think it's 6 and a spare for whatever. You get like 7 of them for like 15 bucks, man, and it's already wired. All you got to do is peel the back of it off and stick it up there. Hey, I love that. That's awesome. Puts off a lot of light, doesn't draw any amps. It's already wired. Love that. Awesome. On this boat, I wanted a lot of light, so I actually used 2 of those, so I got 30 bucks in them. But they go all the way down this side, across the front, and then I've got one here underneath, and then they go all the way across that side. Hey, I've even got one right underneath here. You can see it right there. And so that's kind of pointing on my crotch when I drive. If I need to work on something, I need to look at something, look at my phone or whatever, that light's shining right down here. But with the help of the steering wheel, it's not blinding me. It's not my eyes, okay? Works out pretty good. When you set up your interior lights, all the lights on your boat, you want to make sure that you never have direct eye contact with them. And the reason for that is because you don't want to lose your night vision. You want to be able to hit that switch and be able to look over there into the darkness, but still have a little bit of ambient light below you, so you can be able to function, okay? That's my personal preference. That's what I like, okay? What else? That pretty much handles the console. You can see we've got 80-pound Riptide back here, and this is one of the SFBG 360 mounts, okay? See, it's spring loaded, all right? But I'm not using the entire mount, okay? I'm not using that flip over, pull the rope and all that shit mount, all right? 50 amp connector, okay? I love 50 amp connectors. They're strong, they stay together, they take years of abuse. What we did, I started doing this about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. with Rob at Elite Airboats, and he didn't make this one. I went ahead and scratched this one out here at home. But this mount, okay, let's see, yeah, gotta find it in the camera. This mount replaces my Minn Kota SFBG flip over mount. All right, one screw here on top. I'll slide my trolling motor down there, tighten this down, and then I've got my my 50 amp breaker right there, or 50 amp connector right there. Okay, the breaker's actually in the back. You knew that, right? Look at all this room, guys. I love this boat. This boat fishes amazing. Let's go back here to the back and give a walk around of this back deck. Now, I told you 18 foot to right there, right? But we've got full 2 foot long pods that are the full height. Okay, so they're 29 inches tall, 2 foot by 2 foot, and then each one of them has its own storage compartment, and that storage compartment is raised off the bottom of the boat, just in case we were to take on water. Nothing inside this compartment or the compartment that's over there underneath my generator will be wet. Yes, it's not a full, you know, sealed lid, but you know, you get the point. So, battery selector on-off switch. Minn Kota 330, which means I get 3 channels and it has a 30 amp capacity. So each one is putting 10 amps per channel. I've got 2 31 class batteries for my Minn Kota trolling motor. That's it. Okay, nothing special here. I do have a trim switch back here for my outboard. Okay, and then here, of course, is my breaker. 50 amp for a 24 volt. Is that right? Anyway, that's a 50 amp. I think it's supposed to be the other way around. It's probably supposed to be a 60. I've never blown it yet. My maxed it out LED pole. Johnson 150. It's a GT something or other V6. I think it is about a 90 model. But anyway, it's served its purpose. It's been really good to me so far. The fuel tank we Frenched in, okay, nice and flush, but tapered it back and put me 2 holes either side. That way it can drain to the bottom of the boat when I splash it out, because all the fill necks at gas stations suck. Generator. Before we get talking about lights, let's talk about generator. You all know that I run a Yamaha 3000 or 3500 for a while, but I didn't want to run it on this boat because I wanted to keep it lightweight. I didn't want to spend a lot of money once again, so Harbor Freight gets the call on this one. Predator 2000 does great. Okay, it's not quite as quiet as a Honda or a Yamaha for that matter, but it's pretty damn quiet. I'm not for sure how big the fuel tank is, but I get like 6.5 hours out of a fill. Okay, and my LEDs that I'm running are about 1400 watts, so that's, you know, that's about 80% or so of what this can handle. I can do 1600 watts continuous, of course, but you know, we don't like to run them that high. Okay, if you got a 1600 watt generator, get her down there about 1200 to 1400 watts. You'll be fine. It'll last longer. You'll get a little bit better fuel consumption. It'll be a little quieter. Yada yada yada. You get it. We've all talked about this before. Plug-ins. I didn't go fancy this time. I didn't put shit in conduit. I didn't go crazy with that. Okay, plug-ins. Port side, starboard side. Why did I do that? Why didn't I just do one plug-in? Well, to minimize my amp draw. Okay, to minimize the wire size needed, by splitting this up, I split the amps for each side. So now I've got like 6 amps on this side, 6 amps on this side, versus having 12 amps on one plug. And for some odd reason, we have a spike. You're not supposed to put more than 13 amps into a plug. So we went ahead and split it. Works out pretty good. Can't complain. I don't know, can't complain. let's just do a overview here. Get you a little bit of a bird's eye view. Get my fat melon out of the way. Love the boat, man. It fishes like a dream. I did go ahead and put an 1/8 inch floor pan over top of my 7 T-bars. Well, let's get a little zoomage. Okay, 7 T-bars up underneath there. We already saw that before. In rough water, I will say this. We get in, I'll show you the outside of the boat here in a minute. In rough water, the floor does flex a little bit right here in the center. If I had this to do over again, you see I've got T-bar going up through there making a midship, okay? And I've got T-bar going around here making another midship. I would have done one more, okay? I would have made me a midship that went right here in front of my console. Not necessary, but once again, that rough water, you know how it is, beats a boat to death. So let's go ahead and get on with our walk around. It does drift quite a bit when you go into a turn, but you just gotta know how to drive it. If you've never driven a slick bottom, then it's kind of like driving a bathtub, okay? You got to get that nose to rise just a little bit and then gas on it to spin the ass end around and go. That's just the way a slick bottom is. But when it's running straight, get up on pad and go. The boat does 47 mile an hour and runs straight as an arrow. Love it. So I know everybody's wanting to know about lights. If you don't know what these are behind me, these are Viugrams. Viugrams, whatever, okay? eBay floods, all right? But they're a high quality eBay flood. They don't look it, they sure don't look it, but they are, okay? I'll post some pictures while I talk here, and you guys can look over my shoulder and at these pictures and see that they're a golden color, okay? They're not the yellow that I had on the other boat, but they're pretty damn close. They put off a really good amount of light. Now, I am running 6 150s on the front of the boat, okay? These bigger ones are 150 watts. I don't know, guys. Let's call it 8 inches by 12 inches, give or take, okay? You can go to eBay and Viugram's website and figure that out. But those are legit, okay? Those are like 60-degree lights, so they're not a real wide flood. Most lights are 120 degrees, and these 60 degrees focus the light a little bit more and makes them just a little bit brighter. Behind my 6, okay, I've got 3 on each side of 150s. Behind that, I've got 5 50s on each side. 3 here, and then a deuce back there, all right? So that gives me 10 50s total, of course. We're running, what is that, 1400 watts, like I said, something like that. There's not a dark spot on the boat. The darkest spot behind the boat, of course, is behind the outboard, and I can turn those rear floodlights on if I want to. Once again, it works out pretty damn good. You can see how tall those sides are. Our stereo, let's see if I can get it from right here. See our little amplifier underneath there? Now that is a Pile Bluetooth amplifier, okay? And you can't tell it by the screen here, but that is about, I don't know, 4 inches by 5 inches by 2 inches. It is tiny, 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 but it bumps 400 watts, boys. 400 watts is awesome. Right underneath here, I bought 2 cheap, and I mean cheap, 8-inch wakeboard speakers. All right, I mounted them underneath there, out of the way, but look where they're pointing. They're pointing right up here to this front deck, and all I got to do, get out my cellular device, turn on the Bluetooth, crank up that 5-finger death punch, and we're rocking down the bank. Actually bumps pretty good. That stereo system, complete stereo system, cost me $158. I'll put that video up as well if I haven't already. but very cheap. Awesome. Sounds great, and I get to stream music. Works out great. You don't have to spend a lot of money when it comes to your bow fishing boat. You can find quality parts at an affordable price, and you can have all this stuff, as you go along. The floor coverings, if you've been living under a rock for the last couple years, this is Black Tip Jet Sports turf. Okay, it comes in sheets that are, let's say, 79 inches by 38 inches, I believe is what it is, and it's 5 mil. Okay, so 5 millimeter tall, and it comes with 3M backing on the back of it. You lay this stuff down, trim it so it's just a little big, rip the back off of it, lay it down, roll it, push it over to the edge, and then take a craft knife, utility knife, or whatever, and cut around all the edges. Now you can see I'm not, extremely anal about how things look, but I'm here to tell you that stuff looks amazing. This boat took 5 sheets. Okay, you can get this stuff on Amazon, $65 I think a sheet. That's pretty cheap. Once again, looks great, fairly cheap, and that's what this build is all about. I didn't do any work to this trailer. That's all I did. I cut the V boards off of it, flipped it around, so I've got 2 flat running boards. As you can see, everything worked out good. I'm riding about 3 inches off the side of my trailer. 7,000 pound trailer. It does have hydraulic brakes, whatever that's called. It's escaping me right now, but you know what I'm talking about. It's not electric, it's actuator on the tone thing. I need to replace that. That one's not working real well. The brakes on it aren't real well, but full steel. Okay, nothing special here. On our little upgrade, and we've got a video coming out, if not today, maybe in a couple days. I got to edit it, but we went through and we rewired this whole trailer like I like to do. For some damn reason I love to wire, and I put me some green LEDs up on top. I've loaded the boat with these new green LEDs on top, and well, let's just say they were well worth the money. I can turn my driving lights off and I can load my boat just like that. And here you go. That's how I do things, right? LED it to the hilt. Love it. Looks great. So my pods are full length here. If I can do a little maneuvering of the camera. Excuse me just a moment. There you go. How's that? Pods are full length, okay? And I did do a little heavier plate back here in the back just in case I want to do a kicker, okay? Both sides is heavy duty. And you saw on my dash panel that I had rear flood, okay? I bought these 18-watt LED floods on eBay for next to nothing, okay? Did 4 of them, and I didn't have to put reverse lights in my trailer. If I'm turning around in a really tight cove or a creek or whatever, I can turn them on. I can see what my outboard's doing. Now I know. Why have guys been doing that all these years? Well, now I know, okay? The back of the boat is just sexy, and I'm in the process of making it just a little sexier. Guys, if you like the build, if you like what we're doing here, I got on eBay like I love to do, love the bay, okay? And I found a guy down here in Texas, okay? Stickerit.com, I think. I'll post a link in the description. I talked to the guy. He's got some awesome killer stickers, okay? Love it. Yes, I'm a child, okay? But hey, I love my stickers. What can I say? And we're just finishing up the final touches of the boat this afternoon, and I just wanted to include everyone and say thanks for watching the channel. For everybody that's supported bow fishermen over the years, thank you. How do you like that sticker? Shots fired. Guys, stay safe, shoot straight, shoot off, and don't forget to wear those PFDs, and I will see you on the water.